Hi, everyone. Thank you for tuning in to our podcast today. These podcasts are brought to you in part by our sponsors, who really truly are what make these podcasts possible every week. O'Fallon Nutrition is a company that I've worked with for over 15 years. They're independently owned and operated, located here in O'Fallon, Missouri, right off of Highway K and Mexico Road. I call this place the Whole Foods of St. Charles County, but even if you are not located on this side of the river, it is still worth the drive. I can remember working all the way down at Powerhouse and still sending people out to O'Fallon Nutrition for their supplements. They are more than a supplement company. You can get grass-fed beef, salad dressing, seasoning for your cooking, hair care products, makeup, deodorant, toothpaste, essential oils, and all the vitamins and minerals that you can think of. If you're looking for clean, whole food nutrition, as well as home care, house care, skincare products, O'Fallon Nutrition is your place. You can take a look at them at o'fallonnutrition.com, or if you'd like to have something shipped, if you're listening to me from outside of St. Louis, you can certainly have items shipped. I know they do free shipping if it's an order over $50, and the phone number is 636-240-5283. Again, it's o'fallonnutrition.com. As well as if preparing your food on a weekly basis is your primary excuse for why you're not able to stay on a good, clean eating program, which is something that I hear very regularly from my clients, I would ask you to please take the time to check out Pure Plates. It's pureplates.stl.com. They are a phenomenal place. We get our food from there during the week. They deliver to our Integrity location. They will deliver to your house. They also are just available for pickup. You can go to their Chesterfield location or their Kirkwood location and just pick up meals for the day, as well as just having them delivered right to your door. So if preparing your food is your main excuse for why you cannot stay on a healthy eating program, then I would suggest just stop by Pure Plates. Just try it. If you're trying to lower your blood pressure, you're trying to lower your cholesterol, you're trying to get your blood sugar down, try to do Pure Plates meals for a week and just see how different you feel. These are organic meals. They are gluten-free. If you need them to be, they can be dairy-free. They are soy-free. You're not taking any processed sugars or meat-curing agents or preservatives. They really, truly believe in nutrient-dense meals that are just whole food nutrition. And I've had my clients, or I've made recommendations for my clients for years at Pure Plates. It's pureplates.stl.com, or you can call them to ask questions at 636-778-3555. Again, remembering that they have a location in Chesterfield as well as in Kirkwood that you can just run by and pick up a meal today. Everyone always asks me where I get my meat from, and given that I really eat meat on a daily basis, typically beef primarily, my meat is very important to me. I have an autoimmune condition and I want grain-free, corn-free meat, and I just haven't found the confidence in stores in knowing that I'm getting 100% grass-fed, grass-finished beef. And I have searched and searched and searched for the right farm, and I have found the farm. It's fedfromthefarm.com, fed, F-E-D, from thefarm.com. These farmers are amazing. It's a family. They're here in Missouri, and they have the desire, just like I do, to see people well and to see people healthy, and they put a lot into what they do. It's such a wonderful family to support. They do offer 100% grass-finished, grass-fed, meaning that's it. A beef, and I get my ribeyes, I get my ground beef, my ground sirloin, I get my chuck roast. I mean, they basically have everything. They even have awesome jerky, but they also have eggs, they have chickens, and they have turkey. I'm planning on getting a turkey for Thanksgiving, and if you'd like lamb, they have that as well. But if you are in need of good quality grass-fed, grass-finished beef, or quality eggs, chicken, turkey, don't just settle for what you're getting at the local store. to go out on the internet and check out Fed from the Farm. That you can arrange a pickup or you can have it delivered to your home. And I can guarantee you're going to taste the difference. For me, my health actually depends on it. So I really thank God to have found such a great farmer. Fedfromthefarm.com. I hope it blesses you. Hi, everybody. It's good to be here. I wanted to talk a little bit about a topic that has been coming up for the past 20 years when someone is dealing with coming in to meet with me and to let me know how they've been doing. I typically meet with people on a 3-week interval. And so usually the first thing that I'll hear is, well, how did the past 3 weeks went? And so people like to speak in percentages a lot. So that I'll have people tell me, well, I'm easily doing 75% clean. I'm definitely 75% my way there. Or, they may say I'm 90%, good and 10% not. And I'm following the plan, 80%. And, so that's leaving this random 20% that I honestly have no idea what that means. And so I usually just like to let people talk in that case and give them the opportunity to kind of explain to me, well, what does that actually mean? What is your 25% that you're not doing actually mean? And so in most cases, people have a segment of their day that they actually stay very consistent with. So maybe they always wake up and have a good clean breakfast, and maybe they do pretty good with their lunch, but then it all falls apart after lunch. Or maybe they do good all day long and then they go to their dinner, and then after dinner it just all falls apart. And so granted, they might be doing 90% of their day great, but then just 10% of their day actually just ends up being, the complete opposite of what they should be doing. So one thing that we want to take into consideration is that calories are not equal. So a calorie of this and a calorie of that, it's not just about calories in total. It matters where those calories come from, and it also matters how your body is going to respond to those calories. So if you blow it after dinner every night with a whole bunch of fruit, or if you blow it after dinner every night with too many crackers, even though they're almond flour crackers, or you make the Simple Mills cookies or the Simple Mills brownies, and you eat one of those every single day, but because they're made with almond flour and all these other ingredients, you think that they're the cleaner option. But all the other meals that you're having are on track. It doesn't actually mean that you're staying consistent, and you can't actually expect to be able to get very consistent results that way. So if you're really trying to clean up a diet so that you can drop inflammation in the body, reduce blood sugar, reduce blood pressure, and lower histamine responses, so lowering your allergy responses in your body, lowering inflammation that you're feeling in your joints or inflammation that you're feeling in your gut, you cannot be at a 75-25. Unfortunately, your body is going to respond to that 25% of the bad ingredients. And so if the ingredients are great for the 75%, but then suddenly you bring in the poisonous ingredients for 25%, you're going to reap the result of having had that 25%. If you are on the autoimmune spectrum, you don't even have to be diagnosed with an autoimmune disease, but there's consideration that you could have an autoimmune disease, then you by all means are going to have a response to that 25%. So what'll happen is when you spike your blood sugar, because maybe you decide that you're going to have, more of something that you should, less of something that you should have had, and then more of something that you shouldn't have had, what will happen is you'll spike your blood sugar. And every time you spike your blood sugar, it's like someone sticks a gun in your mouth and they shoot the gun off, and there's a bullet bouncing around inside your body like a pinball, and it's bruising you on the inside. And so that's inflammation. And so every time you spike your blood sugar, that inflammatory response is going to create a series of different events. And the number one event is that your body is going to retain water. And that retention could happen one day, it could happen 3 days, and someone like me with an autoimmune disease, it could last 2 to 3 weeks. So you have to understand that this bad ingredient or these bad foods that you're having, they truly could impact you for more than just that day. And also more has to be taken into consideration than just what does the scale say, because the scale's only showing us one side of the story. There's something going on inside your body too. So if your eczema gets activated, if your psoriasis gets activated, if your IBS gets activated, if your arthritis gets activated, if your joints start feeling inflamed, if your allergies kick up, then what you're having that 25% of the time, it's starting to basically delete what you're doing the 75% of the time. Now, don't get me wrong. If you started doing it 75% and started eating clean 25%, all of those things would be triggered, and they would be triggered and they'd be lasting longer, and you definitely wouldn't be in a position to where you'd be losing weight. So we have to care about regulating blood sugar so that you're not having an inflammatory response. But then we also have to care about the ingredients that are in your food, because the ingredients that are in your food are going to play a big role in how high of a histamine response your body has. And those histamine levels will impact whether or not you're having allergy situations, skin situations, gut situations, or joint situations. And 25% of those high histamine producing foods will definitely throw off that 75% of those non-histamine producing foods. Your highest histamine producing food is going to be dairy, and then gluten, corn, soy, peanuts, shellfish, and pork. Those are all your higher histamine producing foods. The best way to not feel like you've hit a plateau, and the best way to not overactivate this system, is to say, I'm going through a series of weeks, 3 weeks at a time, and I'm going to be 100%. I'm not going to be 75-25. And then at the end of that 3 weeks, take a day and have an off meal for breakfast and have an off meal for dinner. And the next day, go right back on your program. See how many days it takes for you to work the inflammation off. See how many days it takes for the joints to feel better, for the gut to feel better, for the skin to feel better, and for your allergies to feel better. If it takes a week for it to get better or more, you're having a pretty serious histamine response, and you really want to reconsider having those 25% off meal foods that you're having, because there's inflammation going on inside you that really is going to turn into something one day, maybe even an autoimmune condition. Stay consistent. Give it a good 3 weeks of staying consistent, then have something that's an off meal. And if you do have that serious of a response, maybe don't bring that food in, and try to work with someone on trying to create what would be more of a cleaner version of that type of an off, of a beyond the boundaries meal. Okay. I hate to think of it like a cheat meal, because I hate to feel like you're cheating. If you decide you want to have something, you should feel good about it. You shouldn't feel any type of regret or any type of negativity towards it. However, it is a learning experience. And if your body does respond to the dairy, or it does respond to the corn, or it does respond to the soy or the gluten, then we know we have to decide, do we want to continue to do this? Jocko Willink always says, don't relax until the mission is complete. In fact, there's a 2-page message on that in his book, Discipline Equals Freedom. And I love that segment. And he basically talks about soldiers going through a battle, and they may win the battle, and then they're super fatigued from the battle. And as they go back to base camp, they immediately put them into another project, because when they relax, they can get killed. And after they've won the battle, they can get back to base camp and they can find themselves in a relaxed state, but the mission isn't over. So they have to almost put them right into another project to be able to keep them focused. The mission of good health and staying healthy, maintaining a healthy weight, maintaining a body that's not full of inflammation, maintaining low histamine levels, this is a mission that is never complete. So you don't want to get so relaxed that you get yourself so far out of health that you can't reel yourself back in. So you have a bad response to some food, get yourself right back on the food. I would not do it multiple times a day. I would not do it multiple times a week where you're doing this 25% thing. I would do it on special occasions. I would do it on something that you're going to thoroughly enjoy because you're going to your favorite restaurant. You're going out with your family. And then really measure and see how your body responded to that food. And like I said, if it's taking a week or longer to be able to get the fluid off from that food, that's a pretty fair inflammatory response. And you really have to try to judge, is that the right food for you? And should you be maybe thinking twice about having that again and potentially considering something different for your next off meal? And finally, I just want to finish with, you have not reached a plateau if you've changed your plan. So if you're on a very specific plan, but you decide on the weekends you're adding cheese, 1 tablespoon of dairy can cause a histamine response that can last up to 3 weeks. Dairy is the highest histamine producing food that you can have. 1 tablespoon can cause a histamine response that can last for up to 3 weeks, especially in an O or an A blood type. Now, there are some people that handle dairy no problem. But if you have a really solid plan that's working for you and you're feeling excellent because of that plan, put yourself in a position to where you decide, I don't think I'm going to set myself up to where I can have a response for 3 weeks from one particular food. So when I do decide every 3 weeks that I'm going to have an off meal, I'm not going to bring the dairy in because I realize the response that it's causing my body to have, and I'm not willing to allow myself to go through that. I'm also not going to bring food dyes in. I'm not going to bring chemicals in. I'm not going to bring high fructose corn syrup in. I'm not going to bring gluten in because it's just all poisonous to me. And I'm going to actually go through a process of elimination, and I'm going to be sick from that process of elimination. So just really decide and determine, is it really worth it? And don't make exceptions for poisonous ingredients because you have options. There are ways of making things in a healthy fashion. I have a healthy bakery for that legitimate reason. We make protein cookies, protein muffins, and protein brownies. I do it once a week and we deliver it to people's houses. We deliver it to the gym. But we do it because I want people to realize you could make something that won't cause this chemical storm inside your body and make you sick for 2 weeks. And you can still enjoy that food and actually be blessed by being able to have the opportunity. But that if you change your plan, that doesn't mean you've hit a plateau. It means you changed your plan. So go back to the plan that was actually working and stayed consistent for you, and you stay consistent with it. Don't relax until the mission is complete. You're trying to lose 100 pounds and you're at 70 pounds. Everybody's telling you look great. Your clothes are fitting great. You're farther than you ever thought that you would ever be, but you're still adding things that you know that you shouldn't add, and you can't seem to get that last 30 pounds off. You relaxed before the mission was complete, and you've started to bring things in, and the plan's not the problem. The fact that you changed the plan is the problem. You're not hitting a plateau. You're hitting you decided to come up with a different plan. And your plan with the dark chocolate and the cheese on the weekends, it's not the weight loss plan for the last 30 pounds. The last 30 pounds are actually the hardest pounds you're going to lose the entire time. They will be the most difficult when you're trying to lose 100 pounds. So if there was ever a time you needed laser focus and you truly needed to put yourself 100% into it, it's at that time. That's not the time to relax. The mission is not complete. Do not relax. So please understand that 25% of your bad decisions can most definitely impact the other 75% of your great decisions. So if you're really going to try to stay committed to something, stay committed to it 100% and give it your best. Of course, you're human. You're going to make errors. You're going to make errors. And we just spent this whole entire time talking about the possibility that if you do go off a little bit, what you're wanting to look for and where the problems will be and how you want to switch things out. So It's not to suggest that you absolutely have to be perfect all the time, but there may be some foods that you're having that are truly canceling out the ability to reap the benefit of the 75% of the time that you're staying so completely committed. I pray blessing and health on you. And I pray that God gives you the courage to chase after just an exceptional level of health, and that you truly stop making exceptions for poisonous ingredients in your body, because it's not food hating, it's not food demonizing. It's actually honoring your body, and it's honoring God with the choices that you make for your body. And it's saying, my body's a temple of the Holy Spirit. I refuse to allow that poison to come in there. I'm not going to spend 3 weeks of my life detoxing that poison. There's far better foods out there that I can eat so that I can feel amazing every single day. God bless you as you chase after feeling great.